I'm going to share my story. It kind of doesn't make sense. I don't know. But this happened to me over in Lebanon. I went over to Lebanon as a young Marine. I was 18 years old. The first detachment went over in the summer of 1983, and I was slated to go over. But the gunner, he was Warrant Officer Lazada, he switched it and sent my roommate instead, my best friend, Brett Allen Croft from Lakeland, Florida, because I was supposed to get married in August of 83. So he went over there in my place. When I was on my way to relieve him, I was on board the USS Guam. We went to Grenada. And then once we got done there, we were on our way to Lebanon when I got the word that he was killed in action by a terrorist bombing, October 23rd, 1983. When I got there, the violence was sporadic. We were there as peacekeepers, and that was our role. For some reason, they had me drive a Navy corpsman somewhere in BEIRUT. I don't remember where, but I think maybe the French position or something. I can't remember. The day that I had to take him, I was driving an old-style Jeep, like Vietnam-era Jeep, pulling a single-axle trailer. That comes into play later. The day that we went to this place, it's hard for me to remember, but there was so much artillery going off. There was smoke everywhere. You couldn't see. A lot of machine gun fire. Now, they weren't firing at us, but the artillery was landing all over the place. As we were driving down the airport runway, there was a man running across the runway in civilian clothes carrying a Russian machine gun. Now, I had my weapon on my lap, but he wasn't a threat to me, and I just kept flooring it. Somewhere where we were at, something hit a fuel bladder, which is like a giant waterbed with helicopter fuel or something in it. Giant ball of flames. You could feel the heat. We traveled into the city, and we were flying. We turned down this one road, and it was a long road with no exits. I mean, it was really long. You couldn't go left, you couldn't go right. And it was warehouses on both sides of the road. Well, the shelling was so bad, the smoke was everywhere. You couldn't barely see. It smelled like gunpowder. We got to a checkpoint, and at that checkpoint, there was one of those things that come across the road. They have to lift it up, and there was a guard shack there, with sandbags. Well, the Lebanese army had abandoned their post. They just took off, and there was nobody there. They were usually in woodland camis, and they had American weapons. The place was empty. We got to that thing that goes across the road. I don't know what you call it, but we had to stop, and the corpsman gets out to lift it up. Next thing I know, at least 10 terrorists come running out of these warehouses with Russian weapons, and they had us at gunpoint. And I thought I was going to die. I didn't know what we were going to do. My weapon was still in my lap, locked and loaded, but I couldn't grab it because we would have been dead in a second. There was this Muslim leader. Now, he had a pistol, but he didn't have it out. He starts yelling at him and stuff, and he comes up to the Jeep. He's yelling in Arabic, and he puts his hand in the back of the trailer, and there was a hammer there. And there was a hammer inside the trailer, and he grabs a hammer. He starts walking around the Jeep. He was going tap, 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 walking from my side all the way around the back of the trailer over to where the corpsman was at. So when he gets to the corpsman's side, he swings the hammer for his face. And I don't know if the corpsman got hit in the face or what, but they were fighting over this hammer. That's all I can remember. They were just trying to you know what I mean? Like, they both had their hands on it, fighting over the hammer. And I don't remember if he was hit in the face. I don't know. I thought I was dead. I thought they were going to shoot us right there. But for some reason, their Muslim leader just goes, in Arabic, and he drops the hammer. And he tells these guys in front of us to move out of the way, and we floor it. I floored that Jeep. I was going so fast. And I was driving away thinking I'm going to get shot in the back of the head. I just knew it, but it didn't happen. And I can't remember anything after that. I don't know. I don't know where I took him. I don't know what happened. I don't remember his name, nothing. I'd look for him to see if he was hit in the face or not, or am I remembering this wrong? But that happened. Scared the living crap out of me. And then another thing was, me and this dude named Wallace were standing there, and I can't remember if this is a false memory. There was an 8-inch howitzers going off in Syria. You could feel the ground thump. And we heard one coming in. It was cracking through the sky. And I think we were standing in the trench up to our waist. And it hit the ground, and it made the dirt fly up. And it didn't go off. It was just sitting there steaming. I think we had to go back and retreat far away while EOD, the ordnance, like demolition people, blew it in place. That was another time. But the worst thing was a sniper building his nest. We had a Kool-Aid stand, and it was on top of this mound of dirt. We built a bunker underneath it. We had like what they call a Kool-Aid stand on top of it. It looked like you're selling Kool-Aid, and it was an observation post. Now, we had a sniper scope. It was like a tripod with a very strong scope. I guess snipers use it to sight in, when they're trying to shoot their targets. Not on the rifle, but their assistant, the other guy that travels with them, the spotter. Well, I was watching this Muslim guy. He was wearing a white turban and a white long outfit. He was filling up sandbags all day and putting them in a hole inside of a building that, it looks like a tank, blew a hole in the side of the building. And he made this tiny little square. And I didn't know he was building a sniper nest. I kept calling it in, but they told us not to do nothing. It went on all day. Just about dusk was the first shot that he fired at me. I could see the muzzle flash. It was right from that little square he had made his nest. About every half an hour he took another shot, but he wasn't hitting nowhere near me. I kept reporting it once again, don't fire back. So I zeroed in the M60 on him, the machine gun that we had, Vietnam era machine gun. 7.62 millimeter round. It's bigger than M16. It's belt fed. So anyway, it was like trained on him. This continued all night. So in the middle of the night, he's hitting the dirt in front of me. And finally, he puts one right by my left ear. It cracked the wood behind me. And it made my eardrum, like, I don't know what you mean, broke my eardrum, where there's air coming out of it whenever you squeeze your nose. And I was furious. So I lit him up with quite a few rounds, put it right in that window. And he never fired again. I don't know if they dragged him out of there or what happened, but the next day I almost got in trouble with the lieutenant. He asked me why I fired a machine gun. He was going to charge me with office hours or whatever. But that's the situation. It was like restrained and like you have to die before you protect yourself. And that's what it was. It was horrible at times. Usually it was quiet with machine guns, artillery going off, but not at us. It did sometimes, but it was sporadic. So that's my war story. I'm just glad I'm still here because he could have nailed me. I mean, he was millimeters away from my skull. But that's what happened.
It's been 42 years ago, so long ago, but like yesterday. I'm not gonna tell you what happened, 'cause you wouldn't care anyway. Something that happened, it was so bad, it was so sad, it was horrible. Sleeping peacekeepers and it was deplorable. Here comes another October. Will this pain come back again? Will this nightmare ever end? I think of my buddy Brett Croft and all the others we lost. The pain of October comes back then. sometimes, but it feels like a million years ago. October 23rd, 1983, it's burned in my memory. The day I lost my buddy and my roommate forever, I will never forget it, no, not ever. 5 of my other close friends, and the pain never seems to end. It was early Sunday morning, and the sun just came up. They were sleeping in the building. There was nothing up. A man in a truck with a heart made of stone. A lone terrorist in a truck with a bomb, and he was all alone. He rev up his engine and he raced across the parking lot. The Marines at the checkpoint barely were able to get off a shot. We weren't there as combatants, we weren't gonna take any ground. Here comes another October. Will this pain come back again? Will this nightmare ever end? I think of my buddy Brett Croft and all the others we lost. The pain of October comes back then. I can't get through another October. I can't get through another October. Oh, how the pain hurts me so. I can't get through another October. It seems like yesterday sometimes, but it feels like a million years ago. Here comes another October. Will this pain come back again? Will this nightmare ever end? I think of my buddy Brett Croft and all the others we lost. The pain